Hi everybody and welcome back to Two Gay Meds. It's Matt Palmer.
And it's Matt Steele.
And what day was it? What day did this happen?
Well, Tuesday morning, I wake up.
I wait, before he wakes up, I wake up and I've received like 3 separate texts. It's like 7:30 in the morning. I've received 3 separate texts. You better be nice to Matt Steele today. What are you gonna do to take care of Matt Steele? How are you gonna take care of Matt Steele? And I was like, oh god, it happened.
And what did you do to take care of Matt Steele?
I hugged you.
Thank you.
And offered to buy you McDonald's,
Thank
but you did not take me up.
I'll take you up on it at some point in our
Okay.
friendship. So I wake up at 9:45 and I'm feeling so well rested. I woke up to a giant ding on my phone.
I bet you did.
And apparently the phone had been dinging for about 6 hours prior, but I was just asleep and I did not know. I woke up, I looked at my phone, I saw my uncle's text message was the most recent one, and it just said, Carol was a wonderful lady. And I just dropped my phone. In case you weren't aware of what I'm talking about, the greatest performer of all time, the most talented human being that's ever walked the face of the earth, Miss Carol Channing, Broadway legend, my number one, my diva, my everything, my shirt, has passed away.
And I'm very sorry for your loss.
Thank you, Matt Palmer.
I mean, we joke, but as someone who lived through Michael Jackson's passing and someone who fears something negative will happen to Mariah Carey ever, I understand the weight of this, and
There was weight, but you know what? She was 97.
Yes.
So, it was not, a huge shock. However, the weight was still there. And I felt the weight because I woke up to literally like 50 text messages, about 30 Facebook messages, I don't even like 30 Facebook notifications.
I mean, but truly, if anyone's ever interacted with you, who else do you think of before Matt Steele when you hear about Carol Channing? Personally, for me, I feel like there's no one else anywhere close.
My brother was the very first text message I got. It was at like 4 in the morning our time, so it was like 7 o'clock in the morning, East Coast time, when I guess the news broke, and it was literally, my brother literally just said, don't look at your phone. I don't know what to say. I mean, all day Tuesday, I didn't know what to do. I didn't accomplish anything all day. I was just responding to people all day, because the plethora of text messages and all of you people tweeting me all day,
Very
thank
kind.
you so much. It was so kind, it really means a lot to me. All day I was just responding to that. It was like my child had died. So, where to begin? With Miss Carol Channing. What's your relationship with Carol Channing?
My relationship with her is completely through you. It is completely the things you've shown me about her. It is the doll or ventriloquist dummy that you have in your bedroom. She has brought so much love and light into your life, and, I'm sure inspired you to be the sunny person that you are in front of the camera. I have nothing but gratitude for a person that inspired one of my close friends.
Well, my relationship with Carol Channing, I grew up on Carol Channing, just having her music, her shows playing in the background. My grandparents would always play show tunes, the Broadway classics. Ever since I can remember, I watched the made-for-TV Alice in Wonderland, where Carol Channing famously played the White Queen, sang about jam tomorrow, jam yesterday, never jam today, and then turned into a lamb.
Jam tomorrow, jam yesterday, but never ever jam today.
That was very confusing when you showed me that.
Oh, it's the greatest thing. It's the most insane performance ever put to film. Carol Channing was so responsible for how I feel like I go through the world.
Yes.
I remember seeing Carol Channing live in 2004 at the McCarter Theater in Princeton, New Jersey, and it was a one-woman show. It was about like 2 hours, 2.5 hours, and all she was doing was just standing on stage, telling stories, doing her old comedic bits that she had done 1 trillion times before. And these stories, when I tell you, the stories were just going everywhere.
Premier, le massacre des enfants et la mère douleur qui est.
There were times when we had no idea what she was talking about.
Où ce clair pleure, regarde qui retombe.
But when I tell you, the audience was on the floor, rolling the entire time.
Ooh, ooh, ooh. Well, Mr. Lastfogel thought that I should do someone better known than Orestes. Like Sophie Tucker.
I grew up with musical theater as being such a prevalent part of my life, and she is that. She is to Broadway what Michael Jackson and Madonna were to pop music, you know?
Or Madonna, rude.
Oh my god! She is Broadway. She is. She represents American musical comedy. You cannot replicate her, you cannot recreate her whatsoever. No one has ever said, get me a Carol Channing type.
Right.
Because there's no such thing as a Carol Channing type.
You would be that.
Thank you. But I'm not. Because there is only one Carol Channing.
I will say, from the little I've seen of her performance, that is something that jumped out to me, is her uniqueness. Like,
Absolutely.
I feel like you're not getting like, oh, I'm an ingenue, or even like, I'm just a character actress. She just was her own thing.
She was her own thing.
Yeah.
She could whip out the ingenue, but the ingenue was a little crazy.
Mamma mia,
Diamonds Are a Girl's Best Friend was, you know, written for her, and no one can perform it like her with the same savagery. Because every time someone performs Diamonds Are a Girl's Best Friend, they're just like sexy and slinky. Carol was sexy and slinky, but also crazy.
Diamond! 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 Diamond!
And it's how the song should be, just ravenous. She just was ravenous on stage. If you ever hear someone describe Carol Channing, if you watch the Carol Channing documentary, you listen to Chita Rivera. She wanted to be a ballerina, but then she said she saw The Vamp on Broadway.
And I looked on stage and I saw this force of nature. I saw this thing running across the stage and a light. It was just a huge, wonderful light. And it was Carol.
There's a reason why you ask Bernadette Peters what's the greatest performance she's ever seen. She will say Carol Channing and Hello Dolly. You ask Patti LuPone on Watch What Happens Live, who is the biggest diva, in your opinion, of the Broadway stage, and she immediately says Carol Channing. Carol Channing just was musical theater. You could tell there was all the training there, but it was just so messy and crazy and spontaneous and exciting and unique. And the great thing about her and all the characters that she did, because she did a lot of characters and everything, where all those characters were so different from each other, but there was still her in there.
Right.
I'm a very big believer that acting and performing, when you're playing a character, you're not becoming a different person. You're becoming a broader extension of yourself, and no one else was broader. No one else was more of an extension of themselves than Carol Channing. She could reach you from the stage, she could reach the back row of the balcony from the stage and just wrap you up in her arms and take you along for this crazy, confusing ride. I don't even know what to say. It's just, she was everything, she is everything, she will always be everything forever. And it's just, it's so weird because that generation of everything, not just of musical theater, but of everything in general, like our grandparents' generation is almost completely gone. That is when musical theater was born. That is during the golden age of musical theater. The people like Carol Channing and Angela Lansbury and Barbara Cook and Elaine Stritch and Chita Rivera. You don't know what to say when, you know, such an icon goes and that part of history is gone but not.
Right.
These shows, like Hello Dolly is in, as Bette Midler said in her Tony Award speech, is in our DNA, like as a people, as a country, as a culture. Like Hello Dolly and musical theater in general is in our DNA. That's the amazing thing about theater, is like it's there for a period of time and it stays with us, but in a very ghost-like fashion. Hello Dolly's recreated again and again and again and again, and sort of that ghost of the original is always there, but you don't know exactly what it was like unless you saw it.
Right.
So it sort of has this mythical element to it. People who saw the original Hello Dolly, it's like seeing the original Hamlet when it was first on stage and whenever the fuck that was. You know, it's something that will live on forever, and you know that there was an original at some point, and that original was Carol Channing, and it is a performance that will just last forever. And you know, thank God we have, you know, the cast recording, and she did it again in the 90s, when she was in her 70s. So we have, you know, video footage of that and everything. But yeah, it's so weird how it like survives, but it's still this unattainable thing, like theater. I'm lucky that I was in the same room with her twice.
Not everyone can say that.
Not everyone can say that. I was in a room with her in 2004 when I saw her live. I was in the room with her for her 95th birthday celebration, where she iconically, you know, was in the front row, and everyone on stage was, you know, singing Hello Dolly and everything. They were just gonna sing Dolly You'll Never Go Away Again, and that was gonna be the end. But they gave Carol Channing the microphone to sing along to it, and even the way it was filmed was so Carol Channing. It's like they filmed what was on stage, and then they tried to turn to her, and whoever had the video camera, I guess, like dropped it. And so you just hear Carol's voice start, and then the camera goes to Carol. And she decided to repeat the last phrase over and over again, so everyone on stage is finished, but she's still singing and not giving a fuck in the world. Tommy Tune, her best gay, is like telling you whatever gay is holding the microphone. She's like, hold it closer, hold it closer. That video footage is just so priceless, and especially when it comes to theater performers, those little hints of that history will always be around forever, and thank God for YouTube and all that stuff, you know. I know I'm just like going on, but there's a trillion thoughts and emotions that just go through my head.
I mean, you're allowed. But you know, I do think it's beautiful that you had such a long time with her. Knowing she was around, she was giving interviews, you know, she appeared on Drag Race, she just like was in the ether in a way that you got to still experience, even though clearly, like, you know, she was getting up there for a while, but like you, I don't know, it's like you had a long overlap in your life and her life, and not everyone can say that. Some people, you know, we have a friend who loves Judy Garland, and I assume she was dead when he was born.
Yes, she died in 1969.
Well, there you go, and not everybody has that to their credit.
I don't know, what are you gonna do when Mariah goes? I mean, Mariah's not gonna go for a long
She won't, and that's great. I mean, if she's 97, I assume I'll react in a similar way of like, I'm okay with this. Michael was so surprising that is what really, it was like such a shock.
I cannot imagine what is like, because you had Michael and Whitney.
Well, I was with you when Whitney died.
Yes.
You just moved in?
I had just moved in with you when Whitney died.
I was upset.
That's...
I was upset.
Because no one was expecting that.
So we were having a party at this old house we lived at the time, and I was like, we're only listening to Whitney Houston tonight, period. Yeah. And I kept playing her, obviously, it was the playlist, and we got to the Star Spangled Banner. Is that a party song? No. Did someone say, can we turn on Rihanna? I looked at them with the daggers in my eyes and was like, absolutely not.
Absolutely not.
Has it been, have you been revisiting her? I mean, I feel like you always...
everything.
At what point does that what makes you the saddest is when you...
Yes. I try to post like videos, and every time I like watch the video, I'm just like, I am so sad. Like, I remember when Carol Channing and LL Cool J presented at the Tony Awards.
I said, what up, Harry? Yo, what up, Louis? It's a trip to see that you've been living large. You're looking fine, Dolly. Pour the wine, Dolly. You be rapping, they be clapping, we be back in charge.
I just revisit Carol doing Cecilia Sisson, which is a famous character she did.
My name is Cecilia. S-I-S-S-O-N.
You just watch those things and you're just like, there will never, it's more not that I cry because I'm sad, it's just like you cry because you're so moved. Like, you're just like, what an abundant amount of talent this woman had up until her very last days. She was doing Cecilia Sisson when she was in her 90s.
I starred in the first all-talking picture. Mississippi. ignorant.
She's just the most talented human being on the planet. She is show business. Been through the blood, been through everything. Like, has seen it from the beginning. Like, Carol Channing was there since the beginning of, like, musical theater as we know it today, and has gone through the ringer. All the stories that she has. She talked about how one time during Hello Dolly she fell off the stage into the orchestra pit, and the only way back to the exit of the orchestra pit led to the back alley of the theater, and the only way to get back on stage from the back alley was to go through the stage door. So she fell off the stage, ran into the orchestra pit, ran into the alley, was knocking on the stage door, and was like, let me in, I'm Carol Channing. And apparently they wouldn't let her in because they're just like, you're not in the show, the show's going on. And so she had to run through the entrance of the theater and came out through the audience to finish the number. And then apparently after the show, she got x-rayed and apparently she had a broken leg the whole time.
Oh no!
Is the story true? Probably not. I don't give a fuck. It's probably exaggerated, but damn it, when she told that story, it was great, and you felt it. She was just such a wackadoodle and just had no inhibitions and was everything a performer should be.
And she will be very missed.
She will, but she will not be because we have the memories.
We always have the memories.
You don't have many memories.
I have memories of your happiness.
Thank you!
Well, thank you guys all so much for watching. Thank you, Matt Steele, for being a brave little toaster and making this video.
Thank you for all of you who sent me nice messages and tweets and comments. You guys are so nice. Yes. I really appreciate it.
And write in the comments below your favorite Carol memories.
Yes! Write your favorite Carol memories, and if you don't have any Carol memories, then make some. I can provide you the links.
Or just send Matt Steele your condolences. Whatever you'd rather do. Make sure to follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Matt Palmer Music.
That's Matt Steele.
And 2Gay Mats for both of us. And
thank you to Adam Parnell.
Yes, thank you to Adam Parnell, our icon, legendary patron.
Like Carol.
Yes, a legend like Carol. And if you'd like to be a patron, go to patreon.com/2gaymats. For as little as $1 video, you'll get an extra bonus video every week. We've fallen a little behind. We're gonna catch up. Don't worry.
Yeah.
And we'll be back soon with another brand new 2Gay Mats.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
And don't forget to hold your divas tight.
Yes.
Because they won't be with you forever.
Yes.
Appreciate them while
you might only have 97 years.
You might only have 97 years with them, which is not enough.
Not enough.
Goodbye. I'm going to bed.